Hey everyone, my name is Lindsay. Welcome to Love Them Well. Today I'm going to talk about how to be a successful student. I always loved school growing up, and that is why I became a teacher. But school was not easy for me. I worked really hard at the things that I wanted to be successful at. Math especially did not come easy, so I really had to work at those skills that we learned in class when I was outside of class on my own time. Tip number one, show up to class. And that doesn't just mean physically. You show up and you're there mentally too. It's fun to talk in the hall with your friends, but when you get to class, think about the fact that this is your time to learn. So show up, get out the things that you need to learn that day, and be ready when the teacher is ready to start instructing. Tip number two, something that I feel like made me a successful student in middle school and high school was having school supplies that were fun for me. So when I was allowed, I took my notes in gel pens. I always thought that was super fun, lots of colors in my notes. I picked notebooks that I liked, pens that I enjoyed writing with. This just makes the learning experience that much more enjoyable when you have supplies that you actually like using. Tip number three, follow the instructions. Every teacher is different. They have different expectations, different ways that they want you to do things. And it's kind of like a game. So when you join a class for the first time, learn the teacher, pay special attention to how they want you to do things, and don't think of it as a restriction. Think of it as a game, how you can meet this teacher's expectations that might be wildly different than your next class. But it's kind of fun to think of it that way, and then make sure you're following those instructions so that you don't miss simple points here and there by not following those instructions. Tip number four, don't be afraid to ask questions. It does not matter if you're the only one asking a question. It's your job to learn here. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. If you're there to learn and you have a question, ask it. Teachers want you to ask questions. Very rarely, hopefully never, would a teacher say they don't want you to ask questions. If they do say that, they probably shouldn't be a teacher, but there's nothing you can do about that either. And that gets me to my next tip. In your life, you're going to have people that you don't get along with, people that you don't necessarily agree with the way that they do things, but they're an authority over you, and a lot of the times you have to do what they're asking you to do. Within reason. I'm talking like the teacher wants you to write in a pencil for math, you need to write in a pencil for math, even if you don't prefer to do it that way. Think of this season in your life as an opportunity to practice dealing with those people that you don't necessarily get along with or care for before it really matters in the outside world. When you have a job, a family to support, it'll make your life so much easier if you have those skills built now. So if there's a teacher you don't really care for, think of it as a win. This is an opportunity for you to learn how to deal with that situation. My next tip, take pride in your work. School is so much fun because everything you do is getting measured, graded, feedback. I don't get feedback every day on what I do, but when I was a student, I got feedback every day. Whether I wrote a good paper or did well on a math test or not so well on a math test, being in school is an opportunity to do well and get feedback for it. Once you get out of school, it's likely that you're not getting daily, weekly, monthly feedback on what you're doing. So enjoy this time when you're getting that feedback and use it to make you better. The fact is, you have to be here. It's the law. So you're here at school, you might as well do your best while you're here. You might as well make the most of it. So that's not just in the classroom, that's with your friends too. Be a good friend, enjoy the social aspect of school, but also do your very best so that you have something to take pride in. I'm not moving around enough. The lights go out when that happens. One more tip on how to be really successful as a student is to study every day. I'm gonna do a separate video on study tips, but I wanna share this here too, because the way to be a successful student in any class is to take your work home with you and go over your notes every night. Cramming for a test at the last minute is not helpful and it's stressful. But if you take your notes home every day and spend just a little bit of time, you're maybe spending 30 minutes at the end of the day going over notes from class. And then when it comes time to study for that test, it is there already in your mind and you don't have to cram for the test. It'll make your experience so much more enjoyable and you won't be stressing out when the time comes to show what you have learned. And really, if you're cramming for a test, you haven't learned that material anyway, and that's no fun. Let's not waste our time here. If you're here to learn, let's learn and do our very best. One more thing. I always want to know why we're doing something. I don't want to be doing something that's going to waste my time. So I wrote this up last year. Why does school matter? So to me, why does school matter? Making God happy is what matters more than anything. more than the grades you get, more than the teachers, friends, and parents that you want to please. We do excellent work to please God. Does He love us when we fail? Absolutely yes. But we work hard in our studies so that we can use what we know to please our God. Do your best to make God smile. Love the Lord with all your mind. And that goes to this verse here. Whatever you do, do it from the heart as something done for the Lord and not for people. We're not here for people to please them. We're here to honor and glorify our Creator, the God who made us. So we do our very best, and then when we fail, yeah, that's unfortunate, but we pick ourselves back up again and we do better next time. We learn from those mistakes, and that's kind of the fun of life. I hope you guys are having a great day. I will see you next time. Bye.